Are you waking up at 3 a.m. and just lying there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for a sleep that never comes back? And when the alarm finally goes off, instead of feeling rested, you feel like you've been hit by a truck. Stiff joints, foggy head, zero energy to start the day? Gentlemen, if that sounds familiar, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share with you takes less than 5 minutes, costs nothing, and you can do it tonight, right in your own bed. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, a urologist with 12 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality, strength, and confidence. I've worked with thousands of men who thought their best days were behind them, and I've watched them prove themselves completely wrong. Before we dive in, hit that like button right now and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I read every single one, and it means the world to me. Now let's talk about what's really going on. After 60, your body doesn't shut down, but it does change the way it communicates with itself. Think of your nervous system like a highway. When you're young, that highway is wide open. Signals travel fast, recovery happens overnight, and you wake up ready. But as the decades pass, that highway gets congested. Inflammation builds. Circulation slows in the extremities. Cortisol, your stress hormone, stays elevated longer than it should at night. And your lymphatic system, which is responsible for flushing out the waste your body produces all day, becomes sluggish. The result? You go to bed exhausted and wake up feeling worse than when you lay down. Here's the first problem that most men never connect to their sleep. Tension accumulates in the body in very specific locations, not randomly, but in predictable pressure points that are directly linked to your nervous system's ability to shift from alert mode to repair mode. When those points stay compressed and ignored, your body never fully crosses over into deep, restorative sleep. You're hovering in a shallow, restless state all night long. The second problem is circulation. By evening, after hours of sitting, standing, or moving, blood and lymphatic fluid pool in the lower body. Your feet, ankles, and lower legs are holding fluid that your body needs to redistribute overnight. If it doesn't move, your heart and kidneys have to work harder during sleep. That extra effort disrupts your sleep architecture, meaning you never get enough time in the deep stages where testosterone is released, muscle repair happens, and your brain consolidates memory. The third problem is what I call the stress echo. Cortisol is supposed to drop sharply in the evening, signaling your body to wind down. But chronic stress, inflammation, and unresolved physical tension in the body keep sending low-level distress signals to the brain. Your nervous system thinks there's still a threat, and you simply cannot achieve deep rest when your body believes it needs to stay vigilant. Here's what changes everything. Your body has specific pressure points, 4 of them, that, when activated in a precise sequence before sleep, trigger a cascade of physiological responses. They reduce cortisol. They improve circulation. They activate the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest mode. And they signal to the brain that it is safe to let go. This isn't mysticism. This is neuroscience. And tonight I'm going to walk you through all 4. Point number 1 is the base of the skull, specifically the area called the suboccipital region, right where your skull meets the top of your neck. Run your fingers up the back of your neck until you feel where the bone begins. There's a small ridge there. Use your thumbs or the pads of your fingers and apply gentle, firm pressure in small circular motions for about 60 seconds. Here's the biology. The vagus nerve, the single most important nerve for activating your parasympathetic nervous system, has a major pathway that runs directly through this region. When you apply sustained, gentle pressure here, you're essentially pressing the calm down button on your nervous system. Studies on vagal nerve stimulation have consistently shown reductions in heart rate, blood pressure, and cortisol levels. You're doing a manual version of that right before bed. Emotionally, this is the point where men carry the most tension without realizing it. Every stressful conversation, every moment of worry, every hour hunched over a phone or computer, it all locks into this spot. Releasing it doesn't just feel good physically. Men report feeling a wave of calm they haven't felt in years. Practically, lie on your back. Place both thumbs at the base of your skull. Let the weight of your head do most of the work. Breathe slowly and deeply while you hold the pressure. You don't need to press hard. Consistent, gentle contact is what activates the nerve response. Do this for 1 full minute. Robert, 67, a retired engineer from Ohio. He told me, "Doctor, I haven't slept more than 4 hours straight in 3 years." His wife was worried. He was frustrated and starting to feel hopeless about it. After 2 weeks of doing just this one technique consistently, he called my office and said, "I slept 6.5 hours last night, and I woke up before my alarm. I haven't done that since my 40s. Point number 2 is the solar plexus, the soft area just below your sternum, above your navel. This is the body's emotional center, and it is also a major nexus of the enteric nervous system, sometimes called your second brain. Biologically, this region contains one of the largest concentrations of nerve tissue outside of your brain and spinal cord. It communicates directly with your adrenal glands, which produce cortisol and adrenaline. When this area is tight, and in most men over 60 it is chronically tight, it keeps a low-level stress signal firing all night. Releasing it manually interrupts that signal. Place your fingertips just below your sternum. Apply gentle downward and inward pressure, not sharp, not jabbing, just steady and firm. Take 5 slow, deep breaths while holding. On each exhale, imagine you're releasing the tension you've been carrying all day. You may feel a subtle softening or a warmth spreading through your midsection. That's exactly what you want. Emotionally, men are conditioned to hold everything in. Every worry about finances, family, health, legacy. It lives here, in the belly. Releasing this point physically is often described by patients as putting down a weight I didn't know I was carrying. Quick pause before we continue. If you're finding this valuable, please share this video with a man in your life who struggles with sleep. You might be giving him back something he thought was gone for good. Point number 3 is the inner ankle, specifically the area just behind and below the medial malleolus, that bony bump on the inside of your ankle. In traditional medicine, this point has been used for centuries, and now modern research is beginning to understand why it works so well. Biologically, this area sits directly over a bundle of nerves and blood vessels that serve the lower leg and foot, including the posterior tibial nerve and artery. By the evening, this entire region is often compressed and underserved by circulation. Gentle, sustained pressure here triggers a reflexive relaxation response that travels up the leg, through the hip flexors, and into the lower back. For men who wake up with stiff, aching joints in the morning, this is often the missing piece. Sit on the edge of your bed. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee. Use your thumb to find the soft spot just behind that inner ankle bone. Apply steady, circular pressure for 45 to 60 seconds per side. You'll likely feel a mild tenderness there. That's normal, and it means the point needs the attention. Emotionally, there's something powerful about taking care of your own body with your own hands. Men who practice this tell me it builds a sense of agency, a feeling that they are actively doing something to support their health, rather than just waiting for things to get worse. That psychological shift alone has enormous effects on sleep quality. Marcus, 63, a former high school football coach, he came to me with what he described as dead legs in the morning, like I had to drag myself out of bed and wait 20 minutes before I could actually walk right. After 3 weeks of working on this ankle point before sleep, he said, "I swung my legs over the side of the bed this morning and just stood up. No waiting, no shuffling. I almost cried." Point number 4, and this is the one most men overlook completely, is the sternum tap. This is not a pressure point in the traditional sense. It's an active technique. Using your fist or the flat of your hand, gently tap the center of your chest, your sternum, in a slow, rhythmic pattern for about 30 seconds. Biologically, the sternum sits directly over the thymus gland, which plays a critical role in immune regulation and stress response. Rhythmic mechanical stimulation of this area has been shown to activate the vagal cardiac reflex, essentially a direct signal to your heart to slow down and to your nervous system to shift into parasympathetic mode. It also triggers a mild vibration through the rib cage that reaches the lungs, encouraging slower, deeper breathing almost automatically. Emotionally, this technique has a grounding quality that's hard to describe until you've felt it. Men often report that it brings them into the present moment, out of the mental chatter about tomorrow's problems and back into their body. that mental quieting is one of the biggest barriers to deep sleep, especially for high-achieving men who can't turn their minds off at night. Practically, do this last after the other 3 points. Lie down flat if possible. Use a relaxed fist and tap at roughly 1 beat per second. No force, just consistent rhythm. Breathe slowly. By the time 30 seconds have passed, most men notice their breathing has already deepened on its own. Now here is your simple action plan for tonight. Step 1. As soon as you lie down, spend 1 minute on the base of your skull using gentle thumb pressure while breathing slowly. Step 2. Move to the solar plexus, fingertips just below the sternum, 5 deep breaths, release. Step 3. Sit up briefly, cross each ankle, and work the inner ankle point for 45 seconds per side. Step 4. Lie flat and do the sternum tap for 30 seconds. Total time, under 5 minutes. That's it. Do this for 7 consecutive nights and pay attention to what changes. Gentlemen, if you've been struggling with broken sleep, morning stiffness, or that foggy, exhausted feeling that follows you through the day, you are not broken. Your body is not failing you. It is asking for a specific kind of support, and now you know how to give it. Even after 60, your body retains an extraordinary capacity for restoration. The biology is on your side. You just have to know where to knock. Like this video, comment strong below so I know you're going to try this tonight. Share it with a man who needs better sleep, and subscribe for weekly strategies that are designed specifically for men in this chapter of life. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, reminding you that after 50, vitality isn't lost, it's waiting to be awakened. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.